The trigger for that blog came from one of the statements that I was asked. Someone asked me this question that why can't I be myself? Why should I really bother about how others perceive me? Based on how others perceive you, they decide whether they want to listen to you or not. So that's the reason why I think I keep saying that, I think you don't have to change very fundamentally, but you have to be sensitive towards others' perceptions. Some of the perceptions are very deep rooted. Possibly someone has been observing you for many years. Here, very, very important to understand how to influence others' perceptions. It's very frustrating, isn't it? The way you change and the way they acknowledge the change, there will be a time lapse. I think others have a reason why they keep forming such perceptions about me. The trigger for that blog came from one of the statements that I was asked. Someone asked me this question that why can't I be myself? I am what I am. Why can't this workplace and the colleagues at the workplace accept me the way I am? Why should I really bother about how others perceive me? This was a very, very honest question. And I see there's a lot of touch of individuality in this. So, this is very common desire that I want to be myself. I don't want to put up anything just to please other people. I agree, all that agitation. But at the same time, let's not completely discard that the perceptions of others do not matter at all. Now, I think that kind of extreme view also is not going to be very practical at the workplace. I'll give you the reasons why perceptions of other people really, really matter at the workplace. Based on how others perceive you, they decide whether they want to listen to you or not, whether they want to take your view at the face value or not, whether they can trust you or not, whether they can communicate with you or not, whether they feel comfortable to work with you or not. So the moment they start forming all these perceptions towards you, that starts influencing the way you are able to express, whether you will be heard, whether you will be able to influence them, whether you will be able to push your decisions or ideas. So there's a lot that has implications to how others perceive you. So therefore, while the desire is there that I want to be myself, yes, I think don't change yourself very fundamentally, but also be very sensitive towards how others perceive you. That's very, very important, because overall workplace experience of yours is dependent on how others perceive you. So that's the reason why I think I keep saying that, I think you don't have to change very fundamentally, but you have to be sensitive towards others' perceptions. Good question. I think my response is it all depends on how deep rooted others' perceptions are towards you. Some of the perceptions are very deep rooted. Possibly someone has been observing you for many years on many occasions. So they formed very deep rooted perceptions which will take a lot of effort to change. But some of the other perceptions, I think, can be attempted to change. So whenever you are trying to influence and change the perceptions of others towards you, my suggestion is list down the areas that you want to work upon. Right? So these are all the areas where I would like to rewrite the perceptions of others towards me. Now, at the same time, you can't be working on this entire list of things. So you have to prioritize which of those perceptions I would like to positively convert. Get that focus right and keep working on those elements more consistently. And put all your efforts. Here, very, very important to understand how to influence others' perceptions. I think perceptions are getting formed for two reasons. One is they would have experienced you, or they would have heard you, they would have seen a pattern in your behavior, in your communication, the way you behave, the way you carry yourself, everything. There's a pattern. So over a period of time, when people see you with such patterns, they start forming perceptions. That is one. The other one is maybe your intentions are very different, but your intentions and your actions are not exactly in sync. I am a very well meaning person, but somehow I fail to express the same in my actions. And therefore, it ends up as a wrong perception. So, it is nothing wrong with your intentions, but maybe conversions of intentions into actions, if there's a gap, that starts forming perceptions. So, you need to understand whether it is lack of expression or is it because there is a pattern of your expressions. Either of these two things can influence the perceptions of others towards you. So you need to first list down the priority items where you want to rewrite the perceptions and then analyze each of them. Is it due to my lack of expression or is it due to a pattern that they observed in my behavior? And then you will be able to identify which of these areas that you can bring about change. So it is definitely possible to work on your perceptions, but depends on how deep rooted they are and why such perceptions are getting formed. So if you can diagnose those two things, I think you can work on your perceptions, what others formed as a perceptions towards you. It's very frustrating, isn't it? When you are trying to change and you want others to acknowledge that, till yesterday I saw you in one way, but I think I see a change, I'm happy about it. You would like to get some kind of signal from others, a sense of confirmation that yes, I attempted change and they saw it, they acknowledged. So then the loop is closed. But the way you change and the way they acknowledge the change, there will be a time lapse. So let's not expect that today I change, tomorrow they acknowledge it. They don't, because people expect consistency in your changed behavior. So maybe on day one I am a little surprised that I see a change in this person, but I'm not too sure whether it's a short-lived change or it's going to last long. So with that little skepticism, people notice it, but they don't express it to you. Now slowly they start watching a pattern forming, then they start getting a confirmation. Looks like I think this change is here to stay. So then I think they almost started getting a confirmation and they would like to again verify whether their judgment is right or not. After a while, then they'll almost change their perception that no, I think now this person is a changed person. Now, so there is so much of time between the change in you and the final confirmed acknowledgement from others. So there's a lot of time that lapses. So whenever I change and I don't get an instant acknowledgement, I think this kind of frustration is quite possible. But my recommendation is, I think you need to be patient, you need to be very consistent, and first you be the judge of your own personal change before others acknowledge that. I think that way you'll be able to sustain the change that you're attempting within you. Now, whenever we hear about this whole game of managing perceptions, it looks like a daunting task. There's a lot of self-awareness that is required, a lot of honest mirroring that is required. You must be able to look within and then say, I think others have a reason why they keep forming such perceptions about me, and I'm honestly acknowledging, and I started working on it. There is a lot of involved kind of a process that is happening within you. If someone is able to do all of this all by themselves, excellent. But what it calls for, a lot of honesty, lot of self mirroring, and lot of self awareness, and lot of self discipline. These are all the things that are required if you really want to work on a change within you. Now, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Is it difficult? Yes, it is difficult. So in such kind of cases, I think it really helps if you can have an executive coach, a career coach, a life coach kind of a person. These days I think we have many such coaching services available. Professional coaches are available. They bring in tremendous value in terms of these steps that I just mentioned. Either prioritizing the areas that you want to work upon, an honest mirroring, self-awareness, self-discipline, bringing about the change. All of that is something someone can travel with you, someone can extend a helping hand to you, and someone that you have a go-to person where you can go and express yourself, speak up your dilemmas, and seek some perspectives. Usually coaches do not prescribe things to you, but they can be used as a bouncing board. There are sounding boards, so they can help you decide, and also work about a change within you with their help. So there's a lot of help that a coach can add in this process of personal change. And I think more importantly, they will also be able to give you feedback. So that's going to be another very, very important thing. Even before everyone else starts acknowledging and confirms, your immediate coach can really act as a mirror and say, yeah, I think you are attempting good change. I'm able to see it, continue. So there's a pat on the back, there's a feedback that is coming. So that itself is a kind of a little prompt for us to keep sustaining our efforts. So yes, I think if you have the capacity to manage yourself all by yourself, yes, I think you can work on that without any help. But in case you want to speed up, you want to approach this whole perception management and personal change with more discipline, I think an executive coach is going to be of tremendous help to you.